G'day and welcome to Game 3 between Talon Esports and Polaris Esports in this best of 5 grand final for the Southeast Asian region TI11 qualifiers. Polaris took game 1, Talon took game 2. Both games teams were quite dominant with their picks and just controlled the map fairly easily, really.
Radiant team pick.
First two bans are exactly the same as what we've seen so far in this series. DP and the Enigma being banned out from Talon, Puck and Faceless Void being taken out from Polaris. So no switch in ordering there. Not even thinking about who you might get first pick if you leave one in. Just
10 seconds team pick.
Get rid of him. And it'll be the Undying again. Now they've had success with the Core Undying. So maybe we'll see Core Undying once again.
Radiant team bat.
Marcy and Lena, and returning with a bat. So should be see a Lena bat mid lane, although bat can be run in the
Dire team bat.
off lane. Marcy could be run as a 3 this game as well if you want to mix it up. Don't want to keep doing that for Xavier's Marcy. Excuse me.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Second round of bans, they do get rid of the Omni Knight this time, so they don't first to the Omni Knight, but not really wanting to deal with it either. Without the Omni Knight being picked, they do freely grab the bat. I doubt they would have picked the bat if Omni was the second pick from Polaris, but now that it did make it through that first phase, they just don't allow it to get through into the second phase. The Omni and Naga being removed. Beastmaster and Dazzle being taken out from Polaris. Very, very similar bans for both teams here in this game 3. They know what they want. They know what they don't want their enemy to have, and they're sticking to their guns. Now, that shows integrity and strength in a team. Because sometimes you can flip and flop around with what you want to pick and ban. But these teams, they're sticking to their guns. They have a plan, they have a belief in what will work. But we are back to the Lelouch Lena, which dominated that game 1. Now the Bat vs Lena mid lane is quite an interesting one in that Lena should do well, and probably dominate in terms of last hits, denies, but Bat will probably still get a kill at some point. Probably get a kill at some point on the Lena. That doesn't mean that Bat's won the lane, but it does mean that he's getting something out of it, getting some returns.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Vengeful Spirit ban from Talon. Interesting ban, considering Enigma's already taken out. I mean, Venge is still a strong hero, being able to have a swap through BKB. The Shard with the stun is outstanding, getting that secondary magic missile. And this time the Oracle. So they want to be able to keep Natsumi alive. With the Omni Knight banned out, they take the Oracle instead. And in some ways, the Oracle is a little bit better, a little bit more single target than the Omni Knight. You know, Omni Knight has the Guardian Angel, can negate that physical damage. When you see a Bat Rider and Undying, you know, it's not like they've opened up with huge physical DPS off the bat here on the draft. So Oracle can have a little more potential save for a single target. Now, if you're all in on the Lelouch or Natsumi in a team fight surviving, then this is what you need. And really, if Lelouch gets to that stage where she gets a BKB Satanic with maybe a Daedalus or some sort of crit, and they pump everything onto her and the Oracle saves with the False Promise, you know, pop that Satanic, pop the BKB and go to work, and you guaranteed pretty much as long as you got to hit a few things, you'll be alive at the end of that False Promise. Particularly once she gets to level 20 with the Fiery Soul attack speed and move speed buff.
Radiant team
So third pick coming out here from Talon will be the Tiny. Okay, so there are some possibilities here for the Talon draft. They could be still running the offlane Undying. They may have just taken it back and have the support Undying. Now, when we see a Bat
10 seconds
and a
remaining.
Tiny, I'm thinking maybe Bat is in the offlane, Tiny mid
5
lane,
seconds
Undying
remaining.
support somewhere, probably safe lane 5. That seems to be where you could go to, or you could still run it as a 3 Undying, 4 Tiny, and have the Bat in the mid lane.
Enchantress.
Enchantress. So good physical damage, or good pure damage from the impetus hits coming out, and generally fairly survivable once she hits that level 6. Maybe not against Lena though. So Enchantress versus Lena matchup is not fun for Enchantress. It's not great for against Marcy or Oracle. In fact, the Enchantress Untouchable is not going to have much of an impact against the 3 heroes in Polaris's draft already. Oracle doesn't really care. He'll just use nukes. Lena will have attack speed enough from the Fiery Souls to punch through the Untouchable, as well as the Magic Burst. And Marcy with the Unleash, you know, and the 2 spells, will be able to get on the Enchantress. So Enchantress is a decent pick still just for the lane and in terms of damage. But if you plan on using this Enchantress as sort of like a smoke breaker that will survive if she gets the Nature's Attendance off, doesn't look like she will against the current draft. There'll just be too much damage coming through too quickly. But Enchantress is most likely being a support here. So the question is Tiny the support or is Undying the support? We're not going to know until they probably pick their heroes, because the last pick carry is coming. Poses a few questions for Polaris with their lanes, because if this Undying is core, then they're dealing with an Undying Tiny off lane, Batrider mid. But if it's the Tiny that's core, you're probably dealing with a Batrider off lane. So quite a contrast to think about in what you have to deal with on the lanes for Polaris. And understandably, they're using their time to think about what this pick is going to be. They do still need a Natsumi hero, POS 1, and also, I'd say, likely being the 3
Radiant
Forces
team
hero.
back.
Viper is still in the pool, so they'll just pick it up again. They're very happy with this Viper. Well, Enchantress is well and truly counted. Let's just mark that one off the list. With the Nether Toxin as well, Enchantress is counted. They have no fear about that one.
10 seconds remaining.
And Viper's pretty good
5
against Tiny.
seconds remaining.
Bad against Bat. Can just get run down. The corrosive skin, it's hard to tell how much that does, but you know, it does make him a lot tankier. Pudge now banned out from Talon. They're not having that Natsumi Pudge once again, which is what they're looking for really in this draft. You look at this lineup, they got a Lena, Oracle, Viper. They need a front line. Marcy is good at initiating, but isn't really the one who's going to stick in there and tank the damage. And she wants to go in, do her thing, and bail fairly quickly. Viper once again wants to poke around on the edges, not necessarily be the focus of attention. Lena, same thing. She wants to deal her damage off to the sides and not be, you know, the one initiated on from Talon. So with the Pudge and PL being banned out, Naga already taken out of the draft, Faceless Void gone,
Radiant
Slark
team
hand Morphling out. What are the carries going to be for this game? Polaris needs a frontline tank. Bristleback is still there. Might be a Bristleback. Yeah, okay. Will Talon deny the Bristleback pick and pick it themselves into the Viper? They didn't
5
ban the
seconds
Bristle.
remaining.
Terrorblade. I think Bristle is the only hero that matches what you need here. A strength frontliner that can sort of tank the main attention. CK is still there, but CK isn't really that same kettle of fish.
10
He's not the one
seconds
that
remaining.
will absorb a whole bunch of damage. You can deal the damage. So
5
you've already got
seconds
damage
remaining.
dealers in the Lena. You don't need more damage dealers. You need someone to brawl. Unless you just put Marcy safe lane. It's a wild thought, but put Marcy safe lane and pick yourself like a tanky 4 here.
You may now select your hero.
Did I actually just get it? Am I the Oracle? Not quite. It's an Natsumi Doom. So they needed something along those lines. They go for the Doom. The Force will be on the Viper. Lilouch will be on the Lina. For the side of Talon, 23 Savage will have Terrorblade. Hyde will be picking up the Enchantress in the 5 role. Q will be on the 4 Tiny. So it is a 4 Tiny, and once again a 3 KP Undying. So they've had success with the core Undying, and they want to go back for it. They say, yep, this is good. Let's run it again. Run it back. Few differences in the draft this time. Now, Polaris don't really have
10 seconds
that
remaining.
traditional safe lane carry. They do have Lelouch though on the Lina. Now, this is going to be the one who's clicking. So I expect Lelouch to go in for maybe a Daedalus Satanic. BKB Daedalus Satanic. Just get full damage and survivability and be that right clicker. Be that physical damage dealer to just tear through the side of Talon. Who do you really want to Doom? You don't really want to Doom Undying if he's already got Tombstone and Flesh Golem off. Yes, Terrorblade is the one you want to hit, but he's pretty difficult to get on top of. You don't really want to drop a Doom on Tiny or Enchantress. Makoto's not bad, but if he's already got Firefly running and used the lasso, then no, that's not good either. If you preemptively get the Doom, that's great. Yeah, preemptively get the Doom on any core hero, that's great. But it's likely you would have already used Firefly and the lasso by the time you get the opportunity to get the Doom off in a team fight. The 23 Savage is the real focus here for the Doom. Not allow him to sunder or, sustain with any Satanic or, Manta to dispel off. Just Doom that Terrorblade and hope that they can get the damage through. There's not really a lot of sustain on their side. Like, it's just an Enchantress, but those Nature's Attendants won't be healing up the Terrorblade. Both smokes coming out for both teams. Okay, so both teams moving out. Woods will be placed down. Hugh is just sort of baiting a bit. They say, oh, I think he planted one here. I saw him. But he's still hanging on to it. That's just the bait, the mind games. Level 1 mind games. Every time. I love to see it. Walking forward, yeah, I planted a wood there. Absolutely. I don't think they fell for it, though. I think they realized it was a bait. If they saw the wood was still on him, then they would know that, yeah, they see it now. Underneath the vision. See it underneath the vision there that, in fact, the wood is still on him, so he never planted it. Still some disconnects coming through. They do get a ward up on this high ground.
It's just not
to the side of Talon, so they do have control over this high ground in terms of vision, but also in terms of the rune spawns. They'll see what's coming up there. Also see any supports rotating in to contest those runes at the 2, 4, and 6 minute marks. Starting Wraithband. I know there was a time when something like this was frowned upon as a Dota player. Starting with the Wraithband, you want to get the individual stats to be a little bit more efficient, but the Wraithband completed by itself now is pretty good. Wraithband, tangos, away you go. Here we go. Looks like we're going. We're good, we're good. Okay, back into game 3 between these two teams. So one apiece at the moment. Let's see 23 Savage.
30 seconds to battle.
Natsumi's hanging around the lane as well. He hasn't gone to top, so they want to contest these runes spawns at least. This one seems to be claimed by them at the moment. They want to get this one maybe with a sweep down and maybe contest across here. If they can get 3 heroes there by the time the rune spawns, but it doesn't look like they will. Kodo's poking his head out. Has to be careful. Actually, no, it's It's 23 Savage who's being caught. Fortune's End comes out with a spit, stun, rebound, follow up, and 23 Savage will be the first blood. Force takes it. And for that trade, 3 bounties go to the side of Talon, and they'll deny their ward as well. Smart little play there. So in the mid lane, Makoto will be playing the bat against Lelouch on the Lina. In the bottom lane, we'll see 23 Savage on the Terrorblade, who's used his TP out. He's got to be careful not to die again. He's got some support coming across in the form of Hyde and Q on the Enchantress and Tiny. They'll be laning against Force on the Viper and Xavius on the Marcy. Actually, in the area is still EU. Waiting to see if there might be a rotation. Top lane at the moment is just a solo between KP on the Undying and Natsumi on the Doom. Just waiting here. Let's see if there's any more action. Do see the 3 heroes. In fact, they're going on to Hyde. Nature's Attendants comes out. There's the Fortune's End. Damage is coming through. You gotta be careful. Avalanche over onto Force. It's a lot of damage. Will be forced back. Has a couple of tangos. Xavius didn't end up using his rebound into that. And is this just going to be a tri-lane v tri-lane? On the bottom. 6-0. 6-1 to 3-1 on the mid lane, favoring the Lina at the moment. Reflection's going against the tri-lane. More value for that Reflection. Get an additional target. Try and get off the pull here, but they're not going to work it. Won't be able to come. With the 2 supports bullying Xavius and filling with that aggro on the creeps, it wasn't possible. Who's the go on here? They get level 2, Purifying Flames plus the Dispose. This is a very strong tri-lane for the side of Polaris. Similarly speaking though, with the Toss online and the Enchant, or the Impetus, that's a lot more damage as well. So this bottom lane has a lot of damage potential for both teams. Natsumi's in the top lane, has got himself the Mana Aura and the Mana Burn, so he's feeling great. Yeah, he's just burning up KP, so that's almost a 1 lane for Natsumi. He doesn't even need to change the creep. This is it. He's set up. Burn it out. Yep. No more mana for you. He's going to try and get a Soul Ring, but not quite enough for the time being. Mid lane, Water Runes will spawn. Makoto has his bottle. So, Lelouch doesn't actually have it yet. He's got boots coming out, so no bottle. Just get the Water Rune. And 13-3 to 5-2. So he's more than doubling up the last hits. Lelouch, the Lina against the Batrider. So he's just dominating that lane. Reflection comes out again. You need level 2. Waiting so patiently for it. This level 2 on Xavius and yeah, he does have it now. Purifying Flames. Xavius jumping in. Will miss with the rebound. And now the meta is popped. Stun comes through. Gotta be careful. There's turnaround potential from Force with the poison. They regen up. They have some tangos. This is where the action's going to be happening in the early game at least. This bottom lane. Lina's run out of mana. Does have 13 wand charges. But yeah, as you can say, 18-4, 9-2. Bats slowly starting to catch up, but not really. Still more than 2 spawn. Rebind comes in with the Dispose back. Avalanche toss. There is the damage from the Oracle. Does he have 1 more nuke? Maybe, not quite. Instead, they're looking for the turnaround kill. Now onto Q. Yeah, I think there is a lot more kill potential from the side of Polaris in this bottom lane. We'll salve up on 23 Savage. No meta available now. Top lane, KP's a sad Undying. He just keeps getting mana burnt. Every time he has any mana, just zap it down. Got the Mana Aura, 2 mana. Look, he's on almost full mana. It's ridiculous. This creep is too good for Doom. Back down bottom. Xavius has been found. Damage is coming. Q doesn't have any more spells. It will just be the 1 more right click coming through from Hyde. Will it be enough? No, he will rebound further over. And have to run back to base. So with the creeps coming underneath the tower, it's not a bad time for him to have to run back to base to refill. But the bottle for Lelouch, yes it is. So he'll be able to keep dominating this lane. Put Makoto back in his place after he got a few last hits there that maybe he shouldn't have had if he'd had any mana on him available. So Natsumi's loving this lane at the moment. Like, Undying's got the 23 last hits to 20, but he's got Devour. He's working towards Midas. KP doesn't have any mana to work with. He's constantly being burnt out. And yeah, he's having a great time. Very, very different to that last game with the PL against the Undying in that safe lane. You bring out Force's items. Stun from the Mud Golem. Got a little bit of damage, but not too much to be thought of. We'll split in a moment into the lesser Mud Golems, and They'll have their throws as well. Both over onto Force. Jump in. They have a dispose. Yes, they do. Back under the damage of Force. And they're ticking up the poison stacks. And there's the nukes from EU. Comes across as the Oracle. Level 3 Oracle is one of those power spikes in the lane. It's so much damage. 180 plus 100. 280 damage at level 3. And it's pretty much instant. It's no tick. And you know what the cooldown is? 2.5 seconds. So you can whack out a couple of them and just keep nuking away. EU's heading mid. They see him under the vision, so I'll know he's here. Makoto might even try and get a turnaround kill. In fact, they're pincering. Q's here as well. They want to try and catch him. Toss will be in. Toss over the bat rider. It should be an easy kill. Toss over. Avalanche to follow up if not even necessary. Just Makoto will get that kill. So yeah, that vision catching the Oracle walking through just told him exactly where he was at, and that was an attempted rotation on mid lane. They should know that the ward's been dropped here as well. The Louch will go bottom for the rune. Actually top. It's a regen rune as well. Gee. Makoto would love that. They're running, try and get there in time. And they get the kill. Yeah, Fortune's End coming out. Gonna be long charge up. There's an LSA incoming. Can you get the follow? There's a stun as well. Rebound. Actually, the rebound doesn't hit. He's knocked back by the flame break. And the avalanche catches on 2 as well. So he got knocked. Xavier's got knocked back mid. Flame break, and now they're turning around on him. There's a lasso available. He needs some support. But he's just... He will have the rebound away. So, not need to commit any more resources to that. But 6 heroes mid. And nobody actually dies. The regen rune was picked up by Makoto, I believe.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Force still going in for double Wraith Band into the treads. Early stat build up. Natsumi is level 6, but hasn't got the point in the Doom. Don't really need it at this moment. Wants to just get a bit more of a laning build. Infernal Blade, pretty good against KP, being a strength hero. Just burn out his mana. Yep, no more mana for you. Keep burning it. And bottom lane, it's now 23 Savage and Force, just chilling out down here. It was a 6 hero lane, now it's a 2 hero lane. So, with that in mind, 23 Savage can't really head up without the meta, because Force with the level 3 in the Spit, in the Venom, Poison rather, not Venom, in the Poison, it's very hard for him to approach the lane. Keep burning this top lane mana. 3 kills, 8 minutes in almost. KP working towards the phase boots. Mid lane, there's 3 here. Odo has the lasso, level 3 on Tiny, 2 in toss. No points in impetus even yet, not even the value, just 2 in Nature's Attendance, 2 in the enchant. And I'm pretty sure that Polaris are aware of what's going on here. They know that there's some rotations. In fact, Q just walked straight under the tower. Laguna comes out on Makoto, but they've got covered up in the fire. And the lasso is not going to be enough. In fact, the turnaround might come over onto Xavier's. They will get the damage with the Purifying Flames, but they're still under the fire of the bat.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. 2
kills go to the side of Talon and just 1 to the side of Polaris. Lena falling and the Oracle. Fate's Edict did enough to dissuade them from going on in the first place, but then they just changed target. Okay, so your Fate's Edict, 3.5 seconds of magic immunity. I'll just go elsewhere. So they went on to the Lena. Level 8 even. KP. He's got a Sage's Mask trying to give himself some mana, but every time it ticks up, it just immediately gets burnt back out again. And Natsumi, the safe lane Doom, he's going to be large. He's 4.5k net worth at the moment. More than 1,000 ahead of the highest on the side of Talon. Actually just goes straight in. He wants to try and get a little bit of work done, but KP's popped the ultimate. They're chasing him down. The tombstones are there, and with the skeletons, he'll just die. He was so slow, the enchant. 55% movement slow. He couldn't get out. All these skeletons. Remember, Scorched Earth gives a 13% bonus movement speed. He just couldn't run away. He even had phase boots. I don't think that was a situation that Natsumi assumed was going to happen there.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Glyph comes out. EU.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
dropping
attack.
a sentry, making sure there's no one in the area. Midas is online though. Plus Devour if he wants to use it. Yeah, we'll just grab one of those little skelly boys. Good value there. Devour on the skeletons. Not going to give you much anyway. Let's be a little bit careful now with the Scorched Earth on cooldown. They might need more TP support. Marcy's on his way up. Maybe there is no Doom. Hasn't leveled it. They're just coming in. Xavius jumps through. Throws back. The Undying. And there's the Doom. It comes out. And he will be going down. However, there's a lasso over on Natsumi. He doesn't want to die again. Fate's Edict is protecting him from the magic damage. But the physical is still coming through. The Louch has turned up. Finishes off. The kills on 2. Oh dear. That was a big Laguna Blade. Enchantress does not have much HP, does she? Yes. And Enchantress looked like she went from pretty much full to nothing. Yeah, 500 magical damage on a hero that only has about 800 HP at the moment. Just burnt straight through her. The Natsumi does go down. They find 2, but you're losing your pos 1. I mean, it's not terrible. Devour was used. Midas was used. He's still going to be at the top of the net worth chart. It's actually okay. You defend the tier 1 as well. Now that I think about that, you know, if Midas had been on cooldown, sure, that wouldn't have been not too good, but he's good to go. Devour will be ready when he makes it back out to some creeps, and yep, keeps farming up. Midas will be there as well. We'll use it. Make sure it's immediately off cooldown. Get that value. Xavius mid lane, close to the Unleash. Q wants to work towards this Blink Dagger as the 4 tiny. Doesn't want to be a tiny that falls off in this 4 roll. Can happen very, very easily if you don't get this fast Blink Dagger. You just don't have an impact. The Louch TPing back to the mid lane. Has queued up the BKB. Yeah, so Falcon Blade, BKB. He's not mucking around this game. He knows this game. He is the right clicker. There's actually 4 heroes mid. Xavius, I don't think he knows that they're all here. He will rebound away. Force some rotations there. So ulti used on KP. There is a tombstone ready. And he's got the Falcon Blade. And in they go. This tier 1 tower mid with the meta popped on 23 Savage. There's no way for him to defend against it. It's too much damage coming through. Too much control. With the tombstone already decked. Put down preemptively on the deck. Natsumi. Going for BKB Blink as well. We'll soon move into the Centaur Stomp if he can find it once he gets that Blink Dagger. But for the time being, the mana aura 2 mana regen is actually really significant. Just be able to keep spamming out your Scorched Earth, spamming your Devour. Anytime you get an opportunity to use those spells, you should have enough mana. Smoke, top lane, they have the Unleash. The Louch is level 10. The EU is 7 with the maxed out Purifying Flame, so huge burst damage. This Hide Enchantress will not last even a moment. Stun doesn't connect, but Fortune End preemptively will. And then Enchantress. Oh, the butterflies are left to circle on the ground. Their master is gone. DP bottom. Natsumi, he has Doom. They can find Unleash is still available. He has the rebound. It wasn't used. They could find Makoto here. That would be a huge catch. He uses the Firefly. And they actually precast that Fortune's End from top lane. That's a cool play. I didn't notice when it happened, but I saw the Fortune's End just come in there. And they precast the Fortune's End on the TPing hero to catch an additional root on the bottom lane. That's pretty cool. Xavius will walk in. Oh, leave the last hit to Natsumi. Oh, what a gentleman support. Xavius. Would have got that to finish off his phase boots, but no. He just leaves that last hit to his carry. Smoke. Boots of travel, no blink yet on Makoto. He's entering the jungle of Polaris. Get out of Korea. 5 sentries actually on that one, but they're heading top lane. Force, he's up here. Are there TPs available to come in? Not from the Marcy, and he'll just get out of here. He knows it's coming, and he'll immediately run away and let this tier 1 tower fall, because they're just taking mid instead. And mid is much more valuable than that top lane to defend it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I wonder if Oracle will get the the Reign of Destiny. I know it's a bit of a meme. I don't think anyone's really ever buys it, the Aghanim Scepter. But the additional heal or damage per second and heal amplification 25%. It might be good on the Doom. Or the Lena with Satanic. You know, the Lena pops the Satanic. You chuck the Reign of Destiny down on top. Give him that additional heal amplification. Don't know. Something to think about maybe if this game goes incredibly late. 3-man smoke though. They're moving through, trying to find 23 Savage. He's farming on this top side. They have vision on him. They know exactly where he is. He's walking in and disposed back. Doom down. Unleash popped and he's had not a chance in the world. Ida's still in the area. So with that, he's the top net worth hero on their team. 23 Savage. He's 4k gold behind the Doom. Doom is getting huge with this Midas and Devour. Got the BKB, going in for the Blink, and then the Chiva's Guard as well. Honey does die mid lane. While I'm fawning over the gold of the Doom. Tiny, just close to getting that Blink dagger actually. Oh, he would have been just greeting. Just greeting for that farm on the mid lane. Being so close to the Blink and just didn't get it off. Can you devour this? Is devour good or no? Nice little counter there. You can devour the Enchantress creeps. Instantly get that creep dealt with. Nice little interaction there for the Doom. Positive in his favor. I mean, he has a Midas and a Devour to kill Enchantress creep. So between the two, should be able to get him. Xavius leading forward again. Trying to find Hyde, but just an illusion in this top lane of Terrorblades. Not the real deal. He's back over in his triangle, popping the meta, trying to get some farm out on this large camp. There is one stack of Ancients here, so should be able to clean that out as well with the illusions to tank up. We'll actually stack it. Nice little stack here. We see again. No, he didn't quite get the stack there. 23 Savage. Would have been pretty happy to get that stack. Just a moment too late to get it off. BKB now on Lena. The items are flowing out. Natsumi, no Doom, but he's got everything else. Kodo goes on this top lane. Couple of poison stacks. Ida's behind. KP's here ready to fight as well. Doesn't have the BKB yet. I think they'd be perfectly fine to take the fight. Unleash is ready, as well as the False Promet. They pop the Scorched Earth. They see a target. The Louch misses the LSA, but they're in. Trying to get the damage through. They will get the creep. There's the Midas. The Midas on the creep. Devour will be ready again in a moment. KP running around. He's acting more like a support Undying than a core. He certainly didn't get a good lane this game, and at the bottom of the net worth charts. This is what happens when Undying can't dominate the lane. Just had those mana constantly burn the entire lane, and what's he meant to do to that? Going in. Natsumi in with the Infernal Blade. Avalanche will slow him down, but there's this rebound stun as well, and there'll be a dispose. And KP, without that BKB, without the strength of that early laning phase and item advantage, he's just nothing. He's just paper. And this will be an Aegis. Popping the Unleash on this as well, making sure they can get it. Who are they actually going to give it to? Maybe the Louch, I think. ED is bottom. So the Louch will grab the Aegis on the Lena. Going in for the Shadow Blade next. Probably the Silver Edge. Get that additional crit. I was going to say, I would have loved it if you just go straight in for the Daedalus. No mucking around here. Just go Daedalus Satanic. You recognize, claim your spot as the right clicker in this team. And just be confident about it. But I think he wants to have the extra you know, utility of the Silver Edge. It's good against the Enchantress. Natsumi comes in, Midas's, devours. This is the way he farms. And working pretty well. He's still ahead on the net worth charts. Crafts are continuing to dip in the way of Polaris in this game 3. Makoto. 8k net worth as well. Really falling behind. No Blink Dagger, although is it coming out? Got 0 gold. He may have just bought the BKB. He's got the BKB, but no Blink as of yet. So it's pretty hard initiation to get in. Do they have any Blinks? Yeah, Q has the blink on Tiny, so they're going to try and smoke up with that Tiny blink with the BKB. Fresh 9-second. Who can they catch? Doom would be the ideal target. Natsumi has a BKB though. If he can get it off in time, catch won't be there. His team is even around the area, so it could. Oracle was to get a false promise off. That would really ruin the initiation. Wonder when he's gonna change up his neutral creep and move over to the Centaur War Stomp. I know this is really nice to have the Mana Aura and the burn. It's just a really nice creep. It's more of a laning creep. You want to get the Alpha Wolf or maybe the Stomp. The two that you would really think about. So smoke coming down, mid lane, Natsumi. Xavius here as well. Oracle's in the tail. Hunting for someone. Remember, he doesn't have a blink dagger. He needs a target to jump from. And there goes Natsumi. And with the Infernal Blade. Rebound. Actually just does reach, dispose back, and Q will go down. And immediate TPs. They're pinging it out. BKB is used as a Doom available. He's chasing. TP is coming. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Enchantress goes down as well to Force and Lalau. Aegis still for 2 minutes 22. They can just take this tier 2 tower. 23 savages. He got them. Actually, they might want to fight. He's got the Skadi. This is a strong timing for the Terrorblade. Passing Makoto's bottle back over to him. Is that BKB coming out for Force now? It is too. So BKB on the Viper. BKB not too far away for Xavius. EU, he's not having a BKB, but Natsumi has his 9-second fresh as well, and so is the Lina. So many fresh BKBs ready to be used in this next fight. It's down to 8 seconds now for Makoto. He did use it to escape, but didn't use it to get any kills. Silver Edge fully queued up now for Lelouch. Wants to make sure that he has that crit, inbuilt crit into his inventory, knowing that he's going to be punching hard and fast. Q working towards the 4-staff. The issue often with the pos 4 Tiny is you can get in with the Blink Dagger, you do your combo, but then you're just a Tiny with no BKB in the middle of a fight. No way to deal out damage because you don't have attack speed. So as a 4 Tiny, you want to be able to blink in, do the combo, and then 4-staff your way out. So you can probably get out, on 3rd HP was your 4-staff your way out. You wait for your 2 spells to come back up. That coincides with the timing on Blink Dagger, and you go back in again. So that's generally the play there for the 4 Tiny. So it really does want to get that 4-staff. Lelouch leading the way under the cover of the Shadow Blade. But there is some vision. High does get stunned. Up on the high ground, Makoto actually cops the Laguna, and BKB run. BKB run is the call. They don't want to hang around there anymore. Not sure. I guess they didn't think the whole team was there. They weren't quite happy to take a team fight, but meta has been popped. And with the meta being used, I guess they care about their BKB a little bit more than the meta. I meant that the other way around. They care about the meta a little bit more than the BKB. Sometimes I say things and I think, no, that isn't what I meant. Aegis will expire. Silver Edge almost done. Only 276 gold away. And look at Natsumi. He's so farmed. Shiva's Guard is almost complete. In fact, it's coming over, is it? I think it is on the courier. Yeah, there it is. So Shiva's Guard is complete. So that healing reduction plus the attack speed slow. I mean, Q's not going to be hitting anything. Ida's just baiting on this mid lane, but he's baiting in an attempt to die. He will die. He does not live with the level 4 Nature's Attendance and the level 1 Untouchable. Maybe with the Glimmer Cape, if he can get it off in time, he can scamper away, but at the moment, there's so many heroes on the side of Polaris that just do not care about her Untouchable in the fights. Top lane, Xavius is giving a little bit of space to farm, so make sure you don't miss these last hits. Getting closer to the BKB. Almost the Mithril Hammer. the lights. It's a huge timing spike for the full Marcy to get that BKB because they just go in without fear and can just often clean up backlines. You know, clean up the Enchantress, get onto the Undying, and just fight up because at the moment the physical damage is probably not enough to threaten him through the BKB. If Terrorblade was there wailing away with the Skadi, with the illusions up, with meta running, then maybe it's enough to threaten him with the BKB coming out in the next few minutes, but there's not really any damage items here. It's going to be BKB next as well. SoutheastAsia is getting some space though. He's keeping up with Lina and Doom. In fact, he's catching. And Viper is starting to fall behind, a little bit behind the bat. So slowly but surely, Talon are just creeping their way back in terms of the gold in this game. AP will show himself, has the BKB. Dagger of Rastul. Avius is here, he pops the ult. He doesn't care about it, that he's a core at all. BKB TP out. And I mean, that's fair enough. You get the BKB charge. That was the fresh 9-second BKB, so no BKB now on Undying for the next 75 seconds. This is what this Marcy can do. Like, that's just a support forcing a core to use the BKB and run away. That's such is the damage of Marcy. And that's showing the game that KP's had. KP, last game in that situation would have just popped the ult Tombstone and went to work. He wouldn't have run away with the BKB, but just turned and fought under the effect of the Flesh Golem. But this game, hasn't had a good game, hasn't got the items to back himself up, and he knows he has to just get out of there. Tatsumi now moving towards the Overwhelming Blink and the Shard, the Infernal Blade upgrade. Very, very good. Additional lockdown stun. Has he actually got the... He's got the War Stomp now, so he's got rid of the Mana Aura, as good as it was for the first 25 minutes, and now he's got the War Stomp ready to blink in, stomp, and then Infernal Blade, and sometimes that's all that's even necessary. You don't even need the Doom. With the Shivas on top. Close to level 20 now on the Fiery Soul stacks. Fight might be coming. Q has the blink.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Vision is down. Actually, everyone's got vision here. Doom comes in with Natsumi, and he finds Terrorblade, and he's gone. 23 Savage is out. Natsumi's in the middle of the fight. BKB run away. Hyde's gone to the damage of Lalau. And that was a... that was a nothing into something very, very quickly. False Promise was used on the Lina in the middle of that. I mean, he was on full health, but maybe just to remove a stun. Remove the lasso even. Would have been the call. Yeah, remove that lasso. So, excellent play there from the Oracle. And away they go to work. Bottom lane, Natsumi. He's not scared of Makoto. He is scared of going high ground though against him. Doesn't quite know what's up there. No vision on that side of the map for the side of Polaris. In fact, their vision is pretty limited. They have a ward up on this lane. But apart from that, it's just sentries around. Whereas the side of Talon do have some obs on their side, scouting out their own jungle. Oracle is holding onto an obs and a sentry. We'll chuck one up here. Actually, they'll scout Makoto. They'll see him under the ward. They know that there's a smoke. We don't want to take the fight without Doom. 62 seconds away. But they're chasing. They want it. They catch back the Viper. He pops the BKB, but 23 Savage is going to go to work on him with the right clicks. He needs some assistance. Ball starts forward. Skadi connects, and he's going to go down. There's the False Promise. Turning around. Natsumi's in the middle of the fight with the War Stomp. And doesn't quite get off Hyde, but Louch kills off the Tombstone. He pops his own BKB. Stunned over onto the Tiny. And you can't just walk in on this Lina. With the Fiery Soul damage per stack and 25 damage at level 10. You can't do it. It just is. They just want to take this. I think, yeah, Polaris are not going to allow this at all. That's a very ballsy play. Actually, Fate's Edict will prevent the damage. On the middle of the fight is the stomp. They're trying to get the damage. They do. Terrorblade goes down with the Laguna. Natsumi will fall as well. Wait, no. Lina is almost dead, being healed up by the Fate's Edict. The damage isn't quite enough to turn around Doom. Natsumi brought back in. Force is doing the damage in the middle of the fight. KP tries to TP away. Is there the damage? Dies in the base. No, he will live. So into the Roach Pit they go. Minusing up that creep. And with the shard on the second Roche, who's going to clean that up here? Maybe the Viper. Maybe just Natsumi. He did want the shard. Yeah, I don't think he's bought it yet. Yeah, he does grab the shard himself. So, Infernal Blade upgrade. Stun duration is increased. And if there are a multiple of 3 of level or above 24, they'll be stunned for a longer duration and take bonus damage. So, look at those multiples of 3. Let's do the quick maths. Nope, not a multiple of 3 currently. Terrorblade, level 15. Yeah, is a multiple of 3. 17. No. 12. Yes. 13. No. So, not that it's something that you look at and go, well, I'm not going to Infernal Blade them because they're level 13, not level 12. But if they are a multiple of 3 or above that 24, then you know that it's going to be a lot of value. It's the old level death. Sort of the old level death from Doom back in the day. Those of you who have played Dota 2 for a long time will know that this is a bit of homage back to the level death ability that used to be the Yi of Doom. AC being worked on by Viper, so he wants to get the AC. The BKB was not available on Lina in that fight. That's why he went down so easily. And look at this, queued up the Satanic. He says, "This, no more of this nonsense. I've got the damage. I just need some lifesteal and I'll be perfectly fine." AP, he's going to show on this top lane. Does have a BKB. He shows here, they'll know he's around. Decay on the creeps. They've headed back in the opposite direction. So, Doom with Aegis. Going for a refresher. You can't ignore this Doom now with the upgrade Infernal Blade. They take the Scorched Earth, movement speed, and Scorched Earth damage. Level 12, level 20, 12 second Scorched Earth cooldown does make it up, pretty much constantly. If it lasts for 16 seconds, 35 second cooldown, minus 12, you're down to 23 seconds. So it's only got 5, 6 second downtime once you get that talent. At the level 25, 2.1% Infernal Blade damage, that's where it's at. That's when it starts to really rack up. And as a core Doom, I'd sort of expect that that's where he would go. Halberd ready on KP, so wants to stop the Lina mainly from attacking. Lina or the Viper, but I think the target would mainly be Lina. And in these fights, they are getting the burst onto the Terrorblade. And the side of Talon are realizing they don't really have any save. And can they even build into any save? Like, these heroes... There's no shards or Aghanim Scepters that are going to allow them to get anything to save their Terrorblade. All they can really do is Force Staffs, Glimmer Capes, Lotus Orbs. Lotus Orbs actually sounded like the go. Are there any Lotus Orbs coming out or being worked on? Not currently. No Lotus Orbs. I think Lotus Orbs on 23 Savage might be the way to try and save him here. They're going to need a combination of everything. Glimmers, Lotus, Force Staffs, and maybe they can keep him alive long enough to get a Sunder off. I love this precast Fortune's End on a hero that's TPing. Okay. Might give some additional catch, but also might dispel off a negative debuff, you know? It's just getting every little bit of efficiency out of that spell. 99 times out of 100, it's not going to make any difference at all. But one time out of 100, that precast Fortune's End on your TPing hero might just save them or help secure a kill. Okay? So, I love it. I love just the little bits of efficiency that these guys are doing to make sure they try and win this. This is their life on the line here. Polaris and Talon. This is their professional Dota 2 careers. If they can make it to TI, then you've sort of done it. Regardless of what result you get at TI. It's making it to TI. You're going to be a share in a huge prize pool. You know, it's makes all of the year's effort, you know, come down and makes it worth it. So this game, this best of 5 series, they're not going to be likely to give up easily. Either team, they will fight tooth and nail for it. Satanic is now complete on the Louch. He's just sending it out. And now we're going to see what can happen. He's got BKB Satanic with the crit stick on the Silver Edge. There's an Oracle to save him. Don't think there's any way he dies. Post actually tossed in from Q. Does get the BKB off. He needs Oracle. He needs Oracle. He's trying to run over the AoE Doom. Does he get? He does get the false promise. He'll pop the Satanic and he's going in. Natsumi's on top. There is a Laguna Blade over under. Hide. Voice trying to deal the damage. His Tombstone starting to rack up, but the Terror Blade goes down. Trying to get up on the high ground. He's not quite there. Natsumi will back off. Oracle gives his life to get the ultimate off onto the Louch, but it was totally worth it. With that Blink Dagger, able to get in. They gave everything to get the burst off on this Lina. 2.8k HP, and it wasn't enough. Able to get off the Satanic inside the Oracle ulti, and the rest is history. They can't fight against that.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks.
And the AoE Doom as well on Natsumi, just running in the middle of the fight. DPing top, they want the catch. They see Makoto. Do they have a way to cancel it through BKB? No, they don't. Skullbasher now available on Xavius. He's gonna have it sent out to him for the BKB Unleash with the Skullbasher. I mean, that's just so much control for this Terrorblade. It sort of feels like no matter how much gold 23 Savage is able to accumulate, no matter what items he can get, there's just a little bit too much for him to deal with. If there is a false promised Lina hitting him, what's he meant to do? How does he deal with that? He just can't. He just can't do anything. If there's an AoE Doom around him, he needs 4 stars from his team. It's not about the gold he has at this point. It's about the gold that his team has. That's the way that he survives, is by getting more gold on his supports. There's a Glimmer and Force on Hyde. Tiny has the Force as well, working on a Yules. Undying. Blink Dagger, actually. Probably Overwhelming Blink, working towards that. Bat has a Force himself. So, he needs more items on his supports to help him out in the fight. He just needs like mega 4 staffs. But if there's an AoE Doom catching like it was in that little tight compacted area just there, then the supports are getting caught as well by that AoE Doom, and they can't even cast the 4 staff to help out their carry. Was a 4-man smoke, but immediately Lelouch doesn't care for it. Yeah. Fortune's End is coming across. And actually, it might make a difference. Oh, it's coming through. Not quite. He glimmers to the top side. And TP won't be cancelled in time. Thought maybe for once that Fortune's End might have actually done something. Oh, I want to see it. I want to see it happen. I want that Fortune's End precast mattering. I've been watching it all game, seen it a few times now. Thought then maybe it was going to come to fruition. Force has the AC complete. So as long as the Lina is standing around him, the Lina will just keep hitting really, really hard. Minus armor on his enemies. Extra tank ability for himself, dealing with the Terrorblade. And Natsumi has a Spell Prism, building into the Overwhelming Blink himself. And actually an Aeon Disc. I wonder if he'll change that. He'd go for more of a Octarine Core though. Looking for a catch. The Louch, invisible, does show himself on the lane. Paladin Sword, collected up. Every time he's meticulously doing it. I love the attention to detail. I mean, the chance anything's going to happen down there is pretty much 0 because, you know, they know that the side of Talon are up on the top side of the map. At least they have their suspicions, but who knows? Maybe there was a smoke coming out bottom at Fortune's End, just saves the Lina. Daedalus, Skadi, BKB, SMY, Dragonlance, all on 23 Savage, but it still doesn't feel like enough. In terms of net worth, it's still just dropping 27k in the favor of Polaris, and you know, it's the three out of the top 4 cores are on the side of Polaris. Even Force is scaling well, level 20 now, 25% poison attack, slow and damage. That's a huge upgrade. Roche, he's back. Just spawns up with the Aghanim's Blessing. And who would love to get that? Flame Cloak, the Louch.
Money to burn.
Hey, maybe this is where we see the Reign of Destiny come out from the Oracle. Xavius, Aghanim's Scepter, Unleashed. Or the Nosedive. The Disarm on the Terrorblade. That could be huge. Obviously, Terrorblade would love to get the wave, the fear. Excuse me. Lots of heroes in this game who'd want to get that Aghanim Scepter, their hands on it, the Tree Volley. Tiny, he wouldn't say no. This is still the secondary target, yeah. 2 lassos, and I think you can get around Lincolns by doing that. So if you target the person without the Lincolns, I think you can catch the person with the Lincolns without it proccing. The secondary target is tethered to the first. I don't think it actually casts the Flaming Lasso on them, because the Flaming Lasso is cast on the ally. So this Aghanim Scepter is quite interesting against Lincoln Spheres, in that there is, I believe, a way to get around the Lincolns by casting it on the ally. The Louch is into the pit. Does see that the creep was scouting it out. Both teams standing up on the high grounds. Undying wants to have an impact in this game. Has felt like he's a little bit behind for most of it. Davius even has a Paladin Sword to go with his BKB and his Basher. He's not messing around. He is a core in this game. Lina gets the Skadi bits of travel, so we'll be able to get back up to top lane. So we're now seeing Skadi, Lincolns, Satanic, Silver Edge, BKB, even a Trickster Cloak to boot. I'd love to get the Shard. Maybe just buy the Shard. He's got enough gold. Buy himself the Shard and get an extra bonus damage. 15 damage per each Fiery Soul stack. It adds up. And if you got those 7 stacks, 7 times 15 is 105, so it's just plus 105 damage for 1400 gold. I mean, if you think about that, plus 105 damage for 1400 gold, like it's pretty good. Pretty good, as it's damage that you can't lose. It's just free. It's not even an item slot. Got 4,500 gold. I think you certainly should think about getting it. But all this time, Talon are just waiting on this high ground. They don't give up. They can't give up this Roche. It's too important. Interesting. They're 28k gold down, but they're not like they're cowering in their base. You know, they actually feel like they have a potential to fight this game. We are 42 minutes in now. As time progresses, gold does mean less and less as more items come out to both teams, but they come onto the high ground, jump in. Davius doesn't quite get it. And moving in, he'll have the BKB. He's actually up on the cliff. The Doom is on the Enchantress. And in the middle of the fight, BKB from the Undying, trying to get the work done. But there's the Doom. It's over on the Terrorblade. He's dead. He buys back, but he doesn't have a meta. Stun. Doesn't quite connect. Actually, on the backlines, they want to keep going in. Force says, turn around. They're here. Tiny goes in with the toss, but doesn't actually get caught. There's the Storm onto the Terrorblade. The follow-up damage. The Lao, he's in the middle of Sunder, will come off. Xavius, though, it's on the support, and they'll just get the death. He's dead for 90. Enchantress is out, has a buyback. Buyback on Marcy will be used, and he's trying desperately to get away. Following through, the damage will be there from EU. That has a buyback as well. They're coming down mid lane. They know Terrorblade is out for 76. And it's GG. They're not even going to bother fighting it. That's it. All their abilities are down. And game 3 goes to Polaris.